Hello, everybody. Welcome to the latest version of our relationship marketing podcast show. My name is Cody Bateman, and it's an honor to be doing this show and to have some amazing guests that come on here each and every week. We have a very special guest that's going to join us here today. And before we get started, just want to reach out to everybody and talk about the importance of relationships in our lives. And all the people that have been on this show have talked. What I love about it is people have talked about not only the importance of relationships in business, but the importance of relationships in general. And and that's the key. I mean, the key is to have genuine relationships with other human beings. And that's the core focus. And if that becomes your core focus, then you can master relationship marketing, which will help you in your business as well. So too many people think that relationship marketing is about the second word marketing. And we need to teach, we need to continue to teach on this show that it's about the first word, it's about relationships. We can show you all kinds of different marketing tactics and return on investments and all that cool stuff. But relationships is the key and what drives it. So when we do our events, we talk a lot about, it's in my book too, Power Human Connection. We talk about systems and we talk about heart. There's a lot of discussion about system and heart. And the guest that I have on the show today, he is the master at the system part of it. And we're gonna talk to him about that, and I'll introduce him in just a second. But we always talk about the heart has to drive the system, and that's throughout the book and whatnot. But we've got specialists on today. Let me make introduction here. This is the guy we call Super Dave Smith from Draper, Utah. He is the general manager of Sendogo, which is a subsidiary company of my company, Send Out Cards. Sendogo is our integration product. Sendogo is how we integrate with other CRMs so that they can use our relationship marketing system right within their CRM of choice. Mr. Dave Smith, he's been doing this for a long time now. He's been working with CRMs and integrators for the past 6 years. He and his wife are relationship marketing experts in their own rights, have been representing our relationship marketing tools over the last 15 years. They've been a top affiliate for Send Out Cards over the past 15 years. They've been our affiliate of the year back in 2012. Was it 2012, Dave? 2014. I mean, this guy that we're going to talk to today is a been there, done that guy, not only with the system and how CRMs work, but also with our relationship marketing program and how the heart works. He and his wife are masters of both. They do incredible work for us all over the world. Dave also has been very successful in other businesses. He's run a very successful construction business for many years, multi-million-dollar construction business. He's supervised over 100 employees at one time. And so he's a been there, done that kind of guy, walked all different sides of things. So long introduction, but Mr. Dave Smith, welcome to the show today.
Right on. Thanks for having me, man. This is it's a little bit different because usually I'm on the non-camera side of this show because I kind of help you do all the other shows, but this is fun.
Yeah, Dave's actually the producer. I guess you would call him the producer of our of the podcast. So he's the behind the scenes guy. So today, the behind the scenes guy is also the guest. So I don't know how you're doing all the behind the scenes stuff and this at the same time, but that's yet another thing that he contributes to our cause and what we're doing. So let's jump in. Let's jump in. So. By the way, it's going to be kind of a fun interview today. Dave and I have been hanging out ever since we were 8 years old. So we've been best friends for a long, long time. And we've done, we've done probably 300 events together. Dave's been the producer at our shows, over 300 shows in the past 14 years or so. So we've got a lot of seat time. There's a lot of seat time there. So let's jump in, Dave. First of all, what everybody's interested in today is the whole CRM. CRM is a big thing. I mean, everybody talks CRM now, and there's 1,000 different types of CRMs depending on the niche. You have your big CRMs like Salesforce.com and Fusionsoft, some of the big guys. And then you have people writing off of their platforms, their own niche type of products. And then people build their own CRMs from scratch to specialize in a particular industry. You know, as an example, well, heck, there's all kinds of examples. If I start listing them, but there's examples, literally every industry kind of has a custom CRM for that industry. So anyways, just talk to us a little bit about the CRM evolution. I mean, you've been doing this 5-6 years. You've watched the process. You've gone to meetings. You've met with top CRM integrators and different things. Just tell us a little bit about what you've seen over the last 5 years, how the whole CRM industry has evolved.
Yeah, you know, like 5 years ago, I can't quote the numbers exactly, but it was 5 or 6 years ago, I was out in the field literally talking to my network. And my network are small business folks to medium-sized business folks. And I started getting requests for integration into the CRM they were using. So that's what started me down that path. So I started Googling. You've heard of Google. I started Googling CRM and figuring out what it all meant. And it was growing it to the tune of over 100% per year back then. And now it's over 300% per year growth every year, year over year. So it's like, it's a crazy phenomenon that we're dealing with right now. I have a list right now in my notes section of Sendogo of over 186 CRMs who I've already talked to, who want the integration of Sendogo into their CRM at one level or another. So the market's huge for Sendogo to drop into any CRM, and the growth is phenomenal. It's crazy, and it's like, you know, send out cards will always be a standalone product, and that niche is well served exactly how the product is with send out cards. But Cody realized that Sendogo would literally open a whole new market, and that market is huge. So it's really exciting to be involved in this project at the level I am. I can't thank you enough. It's awesome.
Yeah, it's been fun to watch. It's kind of your passion. Dave's like MacGyver. He's like a MacGyver. He likes to figure stuff out. And he does. He figures things out. So this kind of project is right up his alley. So talk to us a little bit. So there's two kinds of listeners that we have on this podcast. Many of our listeners, they understand CRM. They use a particular CRM. They want us to integrate with their CRM. There's many of those people listening right now. There's also other people that don't really know what a CRM is, or what CRM should I use? What does CRM even mean? What does it stand for? You know, I mean, so we have both kinds of listeners, the beginner and the seasoned experienced person. So so Salesforce.com, I mean, almost everybody's heard of Salesforce.com. They're a publicly traded CRM company. They're kind of like the big deal. And even if you don't know CRM, you've probably heard the name Salesforce.com. Why shouldn't everybody just sign up for Salesforce.com? I mean, why are there so many CRMs?
Yeah, because it's funny because our brains all work differently, right? So, you know, I've literally had free trials on probably 30, 40 different CRMs over the past 2 years, just trying to figure out which one fits me. And which one we want to integrate in. So I've had a lot of experience with that. And what it boils down to is just how everything's laid out and how you want to actually use it. The reason why so many medium-sized and large-sized companies, and some small, use Salesforce is because you can tweak it. And you can make it exactly how you want it. Now, a lot of CRMs are doing that now to where you can tweak them and make them very easy to understand for the type of sales or marketing or HR that you're doing. A CRM stands for customer relationship management. So that's where it all starts so that you can manage your customers. But every CRM has prospect management and all that other stuff. And what I'm really excited about doing for those users of CRMs, Cody, is, you know, the inside and outside sales people, they get in their idea who their perfect target audience is, who their next customer should be, right? And they start calling that person and emailing and texting and trying to reach out on social media and doing all these things. And they may even get that particular possible new customer qualified as far as they would need my product that I'm selling. This product that I have in my toolbox here is perfect for them. I just need to figure out who the person is I need to talk to first, and then I need to give them a demo of the product and show them. Well, what happens is in inside sales and outbound sales, literally, you get the perfect prospect. They're qualified to be the perfect buyer for your product, and then it goes silent. You know, you may have had one or two conversations, and the conversation goes silent, and you can't get them to reply to your emails. You can't get them to answer your calls. Everybody's busy out there. And so one of the benefits we're offering folks like that, and you know what, in my opinion, it's anybody in any sales, that the proverbial door gets closed, not necessarily slammed, but closed, and people get too busy. So what we provide is a tangible touch in the mailbox, totally different than anybody else is doing out there, built right into their CRM so that the conversation gets started back up. We have some customers in our beta, as you know, Cody, and those folks are using it to rewarm their target audience. And what's happening is potential customers are calling the salesperson and saying, oh my gosh, I totally forgot how much I needed your product. By the way, thank you for the card and the gift. That was awesome. And it totally opens up the conversation again. In fact, we're having some customers that are shortening their sales process down weeks, days, and even sometimes months, which could mean millions of dollars of revenue for the company.
Okay, so there's a typical sales process. Let's just back up a second. There's a typical sales process that people go through, and every industry is a little bit different. Their sales processes are a little bit different depending on what they're selling or offering. And that's the reason why there's a lot of custom CRMs to help you with that. Walk us through just a typical scenario. You know, you have a funnel system. You have outbound sales and you have inbound sales. What does all that mean? What does inbound mean versus outbound? How does that work? Again, I'm talking to the beginners that are on here. You know, there's many seasoned people on there saying, "Hey, this is elementary stuff," but it's real important that we talk about the core of the sales process. And in today's day and age where we've got SEO and we got, you know, funnel systems and everything else, and you got to leverage internet marketing and all that kind of stuff to bring in leads, I think it's important to talk about the outbound process and the inbound process. So walk us through that.
Yeah, so basically they're kind of the same in that, you know, the marketing team of an organization needs to figure out for sure who their target audience is, who their best potential customers are. And then they create those lead funnels, whether it's for outbound sales or inbound. And the leads come in, and it's time to get a hold of them. So once the lead's in, you got to reach out to them somehow. And sometimes there's even an analysis done before you reach out of, you know, will this company actually need our product before I even call them or email them or market to them? And so there's those types of things. So you have the lead, then you have to qualify that lead, make sure it's a good lead. Make sure they qualify for your product like they would use it if you called them. And then from there, there's the demos. You know, you got to present to them something. And then you got to make sure you're talking to the right person that can actually make the decision to buy your product. And
so a lot of that's the filtering process. That's all part of the inbound process. Let's go out and find leads. Let's go out and find people that may have an interest in our product or service. Typically, marketing departments are highly involved with that. There's a myriad of different ways, and we're not going to go into inbound processes right now, but obviously there's a way to bring leads in. Once the leads come in, they go through a funneling system of some kind, and there comes a point where it finally gets to the sales rep. And there's a CRM that's kind of managing that whole process, if you will. And so now that the salesperson has that, be patient with me, all you experienced people. We're talking to those, but it's really important that to talk about this so that we can queue up what we really want to discuss, is that it goes through that process. Now it's in the hands of the sales rep, and now they need to begin to create a relationship. And that's where we come in. That's where we say, okay, now relationship is the key. So now I've got this. This is the hardest thing to teach a salesperson. I want you to speak to this. The inbound processes happen. The leads come in. You have your stuff there, and now it comes time to, cool. I'm the sales guy or girl, and I can run out now, and I can, and now that's the outbound process. I actually just spoke at the Outbound conference where all these sales professionals talked about outbound processes, how to stay in touch and how to, follow up and how to prospect, how to do all of those things. Using a CRM to manage. Everybody we talked to there ranted and raved about their particular CRM they used that helped them through the outbound process. We come in and say, look, the relationship starts at the beginning. The sales process, I like to call it's a relationship process, not a sales process. That's the hardest thing to teach a salesperson. Because salespeople think, okay, it's a sales process. We're saying it's a relationship process. Tell us what the difference is.
Well, yeah, I mean, so many salespeople back in the day, I'll just say it that way, were transactional. And so everything they did was transactional. It was all about getting the deal signed and done. And what they're finding now, I mean, you can go on Google or any search engine and find the product that you need. And you don't have to have a relationship with anybody. Everybody has good products nowadays, is what I'm finding out. Everybody has good products, but what's happening is they don't have a relationship, so they're not, even if they do buy product X and they start using it, it's kind of a cold transaction. They would rather have a warm relational type situation with any product they use. So you'll notice, a lot of companies are creating, they'll even have Twitter feeds. You can ask questions to the companies on Twitter and they get right back to you and all this kind of stuff. That's relational. That's starting to get more relational. But everything is digital. All conversations, let's just say that, are digital. And what we're bringing to the table with this product and philosophy, and have done for 15 years, is the tangible touch, which creates a better relationship, a more genuine relationship. Back in the day, my mom taught me to send cards if I was thankful for something. So did yours. And that's kind of where send out cards comes from, is what we were taught years and years and years ago. I don't want to say years too many times, was that you need to send cards. And I'm sorry I keep going back to that, but bottom line is the tangible relationship. Even Gary Vee says it's a tangible economy now. And what that means is you're face to face with people. The ones that are, let me throw out another thing too, Cody. All these larger companies, medium to large companies that I've been talking to the last year and a half, when I go in with them, I still have to do the whole build the relationship thing and get in front of people. And I try to be physically in front of them. If I can't be physically in front, I do Zooms like this. And that's key, by the way, is face to face. And then what happens is I show them my product and the idea and what it can do for them. But they literally tell me, this is crazy. They literally tell me, well, Joe over in the corner, he's our top sales guy. We got 30 guys here, and Joe's the top sales guy, and we don't know why he's the top sales guy, because he's not real good with words. And so I go meet with Joe. Guess what Joe's doing already? He's writing cards. Yeah, he's being more tangible.
Well,
he'll even go meet for coffee with people if they're local.
So let's talk about that. So you've got the outbound process. There's a CRM that helps you through it. The CRM kind of drives all the digital communication. So through your CRM, you can do an email program. You can drip emails on people. You can even do texting. You can even tie into social media where it'll help you, reach out to inboxes and things like that. All of the digital process of communication is built into customized CRM so that people can utilize that. And so here's what I find interesting is that because CRM has made it so simple to communicate digitally, that's what people do. They communicate digitally.
Yep.
And everybody communicates digitally now. And so now I, as a consumer, I get all this digital crap. I mean, I get so much digital stuff. It's like, and I know everybody can relate, get up in the morning and click on your email. I mean, there's 250, 300 emails in your inbox, and you're just like, what?
Vastly.
And you know what? Notice, if you scroll down, notice how many of those emails, it's not hard to figure out the ones that are coming from a CRM that's sending it to you. I mean, it's pretty easy to figure it out. So everybody's talking digital. The whole world has gone digital communication. We come along and say, okay, that's all great, and you should do all that. But we have a tangible process that's going to separate you. And this is what we're talking about. Dave is over a product called Sendogo, which is a subsidiary company of Sendout Cards. Sendogo integrates with CRMs so that you can plug Sendogo right into your CRM and be able to, in addition to automate your texting and emailing and social media and everything else, now you can automate or systemize a card sending, a physical card sending, tangible card sending system along with it. And that kind of, that's done to kind of separate yourself from the rest. So Dave, talk to us about, you've been beta testing this for a while. You have several clients on the vine who are testing this through their CRM. What's their experience? I mean, what are they saying about it as they do it?
Well, first of all, for the beginners, CRM beginners, the CRM's real power, in my opinion, is it tracks everything that the marketing team is doing with this potential customer, and it tracks everything that the salesperson is doing, so that you actually can look at a glance and see everything that's gone on, so you know what your next step should be, right? And so what's happening, Cody, with the beta testers that we have, they have all that data, and they're seeing where their sales process is stalling. And so I'm talking to them about, let's insert tangible right there where it's stalling. So that's what they're doing. They're inserting tangible right where the stall happens, and they're seeing a phenomenal decrease in time to the actual close of their sale. And that right there in itself is huge. And what they're doing is they're creating relationship when they should have been doing it in the front end. So we even have built into Sendogo what we're calling a build your own. It's basically a one-off where you can go build and design a card in a couple minutes and send it out. And we're teaching them to do that right up front, because that's a personal message to that potential customer right up front. And they're having less of a stall back in the back end. There still is need for tangible, we're finding out from their data that they're gathering. And I mean, it's amazing. It's amazing.
So you're touching on something that's really, really important for all of our listeners to capture. That one-off card, it's send out cards. We call that a heartfelt card, a message it's a direct message from you. You physically type it. It's a message of appreciation or thanks or whatever. Nice to meet you. That is genuinely from you. And one of the challenges that I've seen in building this integration, and I've said this all along, because Dave's the system guy. He loves systems. He's also big on heart, but you kind of drive the system first and then the heart. I'm kind of the opposite. I'm heart first, and then systems are cool.
Yep.
So the challenge of integrating with CRMs is most people that use a CRM, they're thinking system. Oh, cool! I've got a system now that will just automatically send greeting cards to people too, along with everything else. So it's going to drip a tangible touch several times a year onto somebody, which will separate me. And yes, you are correct. It will do that. But talk about the difference between a person that only does that versus a person that does that and does the one-offs like you talked about, the heartfelt card.
Yeah, so it's funny, as much as companies would love to force their salespeople, and many of them even have rules and regs, if you will, they have to use their CRM and they have to use it this way. It's tough to force a sales team to do that. So even in Sendogo, the ones we've integrated with, they still don't make it mandatory to use it. So what I'm seeing is the salesperson that was, the top 1% sales guy over in the corner, they're doing the one-offs, the heartfelts up front, and they're collapsing the time frame on their sales flow big, and they're still the top guy, and yet the rest of the team knows he's doing this or she's doing this, and they're not catching on. So the idea of putting the heartfelt, Cody, that was kind of mandatory for you for the version we're about to launch. And what's happening there is people are going to have an easier time making a personal message that's perfect for the person at the time. In the beta that we've been running for a year or so, the top sales guys in each office that we have running the beta, they were going in and personalizing the message instead of using the default that the company wrote. They were personalizing it and saying something very personal about, Tommy just won his soccer game. That's awesome. This kind of stuff. And those people still stayed to the top of the sales, and so this build your own piece that we've added into the next version is going to make that job easier for more people to actually personalize the message. And that's one of the first things we teach them when they onboard with us is this is your most important card, whether you think it is or not.
Now, for those who know about send out cards and know about our launching of Sendogo, and many of them will be listening to this podcast, we've had several delays. We've had several delays on introducing the integration, and we've gotten some stuff prepared. One of the biggest reasons for the final delay was what you're just talking about right now. The fact that, we were insistent, especially after all the testing that you've done and been involved with, we were insistent that heartfelt card, the one-off card, was built into this. And the original versions of this didn't have that. They had the automation cards, but they didn't have the heartfelt cards. Which, by the way, in send-out cards, that's how you send cards. There's two different types. There's the heartfelt card, and then there's the automation cards.
Yep.
And we wanted to mirror that in the Sendogo process. A lot of CRM people said, yeah, you're never going to be able to teach people how to do the one-offs. Well, yeah, but now we're collecting data that says the one-off people, the heartfelt people, are the ones that are rising to the top of the list. So, and what I've noticed is CRM people love data. They love the numbers that show them. So we're starting to gather data that shows those numbers. So we've had some delays, but now we have this final version ready to go. Yep. Talk to us a little bit about Sendogo and its launch and what people can expect. I know that we have a product ready for Salesforce.com, and then we have an API with this latest version in it prepared to go out to any CRM for the process of integration. So talk to us about that, when they can expect that. How does it work?
Yeah, so you probably see my face light up. I'm pretty excited about this week. I mean, this week is a big week. We literally are testing Salesforce, the new version in Salesforce. We've had a version in Salesforce for a year and a half, and the new version is being tested literally this week. Now, with that said, I mentioned earlier that I have this big list of 186 CRMs that I've already talked to that all want it. And I've prioritized that list. And Cody, I'm going to be working 24/7 around the clock. And I hope, well, the guys will do that too. The IT guys will help out. But I literally, before we started this show, sent over a couple more CRMs that we are going to start integrating with. So we have about 4 CRMs right now that are going through the documents and starting integration with the new version. And after those 4 get done, we're gonna kind of make sure those 4 get done and tested. And then once that happens, the floodgates are going to open, and we're going to start going into everything. I mean, we're talking PySync, Zapier, all kinds of these little third-party integration products where if you're using Google Contacts, you can go get a Zap inside of Zapier and connect Sendogo to your Google Contacts.
Wow.
Now, that's
Great.
cool.
That's very cool.
There's over 300 CRMs inside of Zapier alone that could connect with us in the very near future.
Very good. So what happens on June 1st?
Well, June 1st is when I expect to be testing the first four after Salesforce is done, and the first four are going to be testing. June 1st is when I'm going to open the floodgates to any CRM to start jumping in and rocking this out.
Now, there's going to be a process to that. I believe there's a process to how they do that. They would go to, well, tell us what the process is.
Yeah, they're going to go to Sendogo.com. And by the way, we're putting a new website up in the next probably 5-6 days that will make it even more clear what to do, but it is available right now. Basically, they're going to fill out a form for an integration request. Now, integration request, what that is you are a CRM. You have a CRM product, some type of database product that you want to integrate the tangible touch into your system. So the integration request is just for CRM people. And then we have a demo request, and that demo request is for people that want to demo. They want to see a demo from myself or somebody on the team. We'll show them how it's working in Salesforce, or show them how it's working in this one or that one. I'm not going to mention names, but so we'll have a bunch of demos going on with the CRMs that we're already integrated with. And then for those that don't see their CRM as being done and ready to go, there is another thing they can do, which is subscribe to updates. So they can subscribe to updates, and we will be as detailed as possible in that email that goes out on a weekly basis, which will include the CRMs that are done every time, and the CRMs that we're working with right now, and the ones that are almost done. So they'll get at a glance in an email, a real simple email to read and figure out exactly when their CRM is scheduled to be done. And we've got a list of them.
So you're getting a little excited, huh?
Yeah, I'm kind of excited, yeah.
So just so everybody knows, this has been about a 5.5-year project, and I've been working very closely with Dave on this, but Dave's been the heavy lifter. I mean, Dave has really put a lot of effort. Sorry, I've got a bell going off right now, so that's going to be part of this.
That was cool. Yeah.
But kudos to you, Dave. It's funny when you put together revolutionary things. You get a lot of naysayers. There's a lot of people that said we couldn't do this. There's a lot of people that said you couldn't do it, and it's fun to watch you silence the naysayers. You have developed the premier integration system in the world today, bar none, and we appreciate all of your efforts in doing that. Any final words that you'd like to say to our audience before we log off this show?
Well, I'll tell you what comes to mind when you just said what you said. And by the way, thank you. That was pretty nice of you to say to a guy you've known since we were 8 years old. It was kind of nice. But we have to do this right, and we have to do it to grow. So we didn't build it for tomorrow's customers. We built it for tomorrow's customers and the ones we'll get 10 and 15 and 20 years from now. So the system is built perfectly to handle everything it needs to handle for 100 customers to 100 million customers. And that's why we had to have it right. And we can turn the throttle on this thing and go to the moon with it now that it's built right. And I'm really excited about that. Final words for me is, let's get ready to rock this thing. When Cody first started teaching 15 years ago, the philosophies that he teaches, and I know you taught him before that, but I didn't show up till 15 years ago. But I thought, what's this guy talking about? You know what? Really? Does this really work? Everything he's teaching? I can tell you straight up, everything he's taught the audiences that I've been involved with for the last 15 years has finally sunk in to this hard-headed dude over here. And I've learned a ton. Life is better, and relationships are key.
Excellent. Well, thank you. There you have it. Dave Smith, General Manager at Sendogo and Premier Relationship Marketing Specialist, he and his wife, Lori. Appreciate all that you do, and stay tuned, everybody. We're going to keep these shows coming. We got a lot more. And by the way, Dave, you're a featured speaker at the upcoming Relationship Marketing Grand Summit.
Yep.
Which is in Salt Lake City, Utah on August 8th and 9th. If you don't know about that, you need to jump on our websites or whatever and get yourself a ticket. 17 premier speakers from all over the world, top sales coaches, top authors and speakers, top salespeople, premier relationship marketing experts coming in from everywhere to talk about key relationship marketing principles. It's going to be an action-packed summit. We're excited about that. Again, that's August 8th and 9th. So just go to the relationshipmarketinggrandsummit.com and you can get all the information you want there. You can also go to codybateman.com, K-O-D-Y, codybateman.com, find out from there. And let's get you there, because I'll tell you, this is a movement. Now, if you hashtag relationship marketing, a lot of stuff comes up. It's kind of funny because everybody's all of a sudden catching this, like the words just caught on. Relationship marketing is this catchy phrase.
Yep.
And people are starting to put relationship marketing on everything they're doing. I mean, there's network marketing companies now calling themselves relationship marketing companies. There's social media people. Anybody doing any type of social media is now calling their social media efforts relationship marketing. So if you hashtag relationship marketing, there's all kinds of stuff. But come to the Grand Summit and find out what relationship marketing really is. Relationship marketing is about relationships. It's about taking care of people. It's about creating genuine human connection with other human beings in your personal life and in your business. We've been teaching it for 15 years. We were relationship marketing before relationship marketing was cool. And so we encourage you to come on in, stay tuned, stay on these podcasts, get to that event. I mean, gee, I think you can get in there for like $99 or something like that, maybe $149, whatever it is. But 2 days action packed. It's probably a $2,000 to $3,000 value event that you're going to get for about $100. Get there. Let's better your life. So thanks everybody. Appreciate you. Thanks, Dave.
Yep.
Take care. We'll see you on another episode. Bye everybody.
If you have enjoyed this episode of the Relationship Marketing Podcast with Cody B, be sure to subscribe to the show and leave a review so that together we can get this message, The Power of Human Connection, out to the world. You can find Cody's new book, The Power of Human Connection, on Amazon or the Send Out Cards gift store.